What's going on, guys? Wei Koh from Revolution here at Watches and Wonders 2023, and here with my buddy Xavier de Roquemaurel, the CEO of Czapek. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Lovely
Thanks.
to see you.
It's always fantastic to be with you. It's going to be a one-take interview, and there will be no filter, as always.
I like the no filter approach. Okay, so listen, we have to admit now that the Antarctique is one of the coolest integrated bracelet sports watches in the world, and you have now an insane waiting list for this watch. So now you're going to just add to the insanity because you bring some even cooler versions of it. Can we start with this first piece of it? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, you started with the star of the show. We call it Revelation.
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 Yes.
And there is a reason for that name, and you know it, but that's a secret.
Okay.
We keep some secrets for later, so stay tuned.
Right.
But not today. And, well, it all started with the people telling us, we love your movement. Let's take, for example, this watch and show the movement. And the people were telling us, why don't you put the movement the other way around? Because we would love to see it all day long, okay? And
So yeah, you're right. So the Antarctique has one of the most extraordinary movements. I mean, just absolutely stunning. And look at the configuration of those bridges, right? Look at the configuration of that micro rotor. It just all works together so well.
It's really, we started with a blank page because our objective was to make the nicest possible expression of mechanics.
Right.
So it's not about the highest level of complication, it's about aesthetics.
Right.
And you may remember my brief was horological erotism. So show a lot, but keep some dentelle, keep some lingerie. So you have the bridges that are hiding a bit, but the rest. So then people said, wow, could you make it upside down? And we said, no, well, we have to think about that. And then we started digging into that idea.
Right.
And we find out that there was an opportunity to continue the language, the design language.
Right.
And so to keep the back as it is,
Yes.
and change the front, but not saying the same thing.
Right.
So showing that we can play indefinitely with this concept, which was this balance bridge that has angles like this, and that is very modern. And we played with this concept by repeating this design on the main plate.
Amazing.
So the main plate figures some bridges which are not bridges. It's part of the main plate.
Ah, wow.
Okay, that are it's angled, so it's beveled, manually beveled, and it's exactly repeating the shape of the barrel bridge. So we did turn upside down the balance bridge, and made a special shape to get the balance lower, so that it exactly gets at the right position, the right altitude with the rest of the wheels, and then we played with the main plate to cut it and be exactly.
Can you remove the bracelet?
Yes, and be exactly in. I should have the glove in the other hand because I need my little fingers to turn the bracelet manually. There is a tool for that, but then it's always, we say in French, the cordonniers sont les plus mal chaussés. What the shoemakers are, or the shoe repairs are not the best.
So what I think is really cool is, say, look at the configuration of that movement, and you see just the three structural elements of the micro rotor, the barrel, and the balance wheel, and they're so attractive, and the configuration of the bridges. Now look at the front of the watch, and you'll see that the motif has been echoed so perfectly, right? And with these beautiful skeletonized bridges, which now form the aesthetic part of the watch as well.
Yes.
It's really cool. I mean, Xavier, that's masterful. I mean, bravo.
And then one day in Geneva Watch Days, you remember?
Yes, I
2
do.
years ago.
I do.
You came to me and you said, "Hey, why don't you do a skeleton?" And I said, "We're working on that, but we're struggling on it." And that's a hint for the ones who are following us on what's cooking between us.
Oh,
okay,
I like that.
I give some hints so that they know something is cooking even beyond that.
Amazing.
And so there is these little bridges here, and we have cut the main plate exactly with the same shape.
Wow.
So we keep that language, and we open to the maximum the skeleton.
I love it. It's one of the most stunning skeletonized sports watches I've ever seen, man. Congratulations. That absolutely kicks ass. Okay, so Xavier, I got to ask you one question. Is this watch available to order, and what's the waiting time for this?
So it's 2 years waiting time.
So guys, it's 2 years waiting time.
So we will produce 100 per year. Okay. We're trying now to actually increase, given the demand, to maybe 150.
Right.
Okay, and the idea is that we'll continue to have it, so it's not a limited edition. It's a limited production.
Right.
Because we actually are working on putting the watch at an even higher level now.
Amazing.
Because it's so beautiful watch. So it's not about the time we're going to spend on it or the cost it's going to cost us. It's to make the most desirable ever skeletonized watch that is on the market now as a sport watch.
I love it. So Xavier, tell us a little bit about this, which launched just before Watches and
Okay,
Wonders.
so this design was made by Adrian as one of the first rough design 2019.
Really?
Okay, yeah. So we had these sectors and then we also had markers. So there was a combination of the two.
Right.
And we kept it aside because we weren't sure about, because when you are in the creative part, you have to explore all directions in a crazy way, no limitation.
Right.
And very often, some very advanced design, you see them and you are like, it's too far away.
Right.
You need to digest it.
Yes.
But beauty is always made of one part that is edible, easy to understand, and one part that is the spice that is a little bit difficult to eat. And so we took back the design in 2021, and we finished that watch.
I love it.
But we didn't present it last year because we already had too many. So we said, okay, we keep it, and we're going to present it the next year, and we're going to present it as a titanium watch.
Wow, that's great.
So the titanium will be a completely different design from the Antarctique Terradeli, Antarctique Passage de Drake, and we'll have his own evolution, his own story, his own language.
Tell us a little bit about the smaller size Antarctique, which incidentally, this size is phenomenal, and I absolutely adore it as well.
It's beautiful because it's now really toward. It's not a gender type of watch,
I love
size.
This size. Yeah.
It's beautiful size.
And I love this
it's a
color.
small size. It works perfect.
Yes.
And here, well, my wife has been, you know her, Marie.
Yes, of course.
So she had studied art, but she's in charge of cash management in the company.
Really?
If you have a company, ask your wife to get to be managing the cash. That's safer for the company.
Probably, yes.
And at one point I said, look, I want to go into something more feminine, more subtle. Can you make a briefing for the designers? And she started, she said, I don't know how to do it. I'll tell you how to do a briefing. And she started working on looking for geometric patterns from a Japanese inspiration. And that's what is here, the Sashiko. And the Sashiko is an embroidery that was in the Edo period, 16th, 17th century in Japan. And it's always an embroidery of a repetitive pattern. And there are thousands of patterns. Here is a lotus flower that she chose the lotus flower. That was a premonition after what happened to me because the pink lotus is a symbol for resurrection.
Ah, I love that. And you have indeed been resurrected,
yes.
like Jesus.
So it's a watch I'm gonna have in my collection. This one, it's so beautiful, and with a grey suit, it's so well matching.
You know me, I love pink, and I think that works phenomenally.
It's incredible. And we initially it was not so to be pink, but she had a beautiful pink stone on her brief, and then suddenly one supplying partner showed us this pink, and we say it's so beautiful. It's a metallic pink that is it's so unique, and that's why we decided to do the pink and the light blue. That is this one. And now to finish, this watch is the reinterpretation in a simple manner, but with little details of the mother of pearl. So again, it's Marie behind it. She wanted to have guilloché on pearl, on mother of pearl that is perlé. So it's the center of the shell, and normally you cannot do guillochage because it's too fragile. And here you have 6 engravings making a grid. And it's because it's only 6 that we can do it as hand guilloché finish. Now we decorated it with princess diamonds, but at the top you have a diamond with a new diamond cut. And this diamond cut, if you look at the first watch, This is the Antarctic Index.
Yeah.
And this diamond cut, which now is registered, has been invented by us, it's called the Antarctic cut.
I love it.
So you get 2 little diamond baguettes with a specific shape that is the Antarctic cut.
Fantastic. Xavier, always a pleasure talking to you. I love it. I love it that it's unfiltered. I love that you're resurrected and you make amazing watches. And congratulations on the expansion of the Antarctique into really a contemporary icon. Bravo, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for the long-lasting friendship. That's the best.
Of course.
It's what we have to do. People, emotion, passion.
That's it. Cheers. Cheers, guys.